Hi guys, it's LB with House of Color. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be doing my 16 to 26 week pregnancy update for you. The last video I had out was up to 15 weeks. So it's been about 2 months since I've done an update and a lot has changed. So I am coming to an end in my second trimester and I will be entering my third trimester very, very soon. I cannot believe it, you guys. I feel like this pregnancy has flown by. In the same breath, I feel like, no, actually, it's really flown by. Every time I check my phone, I'm like, oh, I'm another week. And it just gets faster and faster. And of course, with the holidays around the corner, everything just kind of creeps up on you. And before we know it, baby number 3 is gonna be here. I am ecstatic to meet baby. I did film my pregnancy update last week, but I feel like between last week and this week, a lot has happened. I am officially 26 weeks today, you guys. So every Tuesday, I turn another week, and I am currently using the What to Expect app to keep track of my pregnancy. And it says that today, baby is the size of an acorn squash. They always do these fruit and vegetable comparisons, and I feel like sometimes I'm like, okay, acorn squash, well, is it organic? Is it like one of those big giant GMO ones? So I'm really not sure. I did get my 20-week anatomy scan, and they said baby is nice and healthy, and baby is weighing in at, I think, a pound, and baby is in the 97th percentile, which I'm not even sure if that's accurate. A lot of times these ultrasounds are not very accurate. For instance, when I was pregnant with JJ, they said he was very small and underweight, and that's why I had to be induced. And when he came out, he was 7 pounds. So I went and bought a whole bunch of preemie clothes and preemie diapers, and we didn't even end up needing it because the guy was 7 pounds. You just never know with these ultrasounds. But they did say that baby is right on track and baby is in the 97th percentile. So that's perfect. That's great, because I have only gained about 9 pounds so far, which is pretty consistent with how I gain weight in my pregnancies. With both pregnancies, I usually don't gain all my weight until the last couple months. So around the 8th and 9th month, that's when I gain weight very, very quickly. And on average, I gain about 25 pounds for the whole pregnancy. I am starting to get heartburn and back aches. Now, last week when I filmed this video, I was talking about how the heartburn was coming on very strongly, and it was so uncomfortable because it was mostly happening at night, and then in the morning when I wake up, I would have very intense heartburn from the night before. It was so bad where I felt like my chest was just congested, and I feel like I wanted to burp all the time. And then when I did burp, sometimes I would burp up orange juice or something that I ate from the night before, and it's so gross, you guys. If you've ever had very intense heartburn, it's not pleasant. And then I came to realize that the reason I was having heartburn was because of these iron pills that my doctor put me on. I took my glucose test about a week or 2 ago, and I passed it with flying colors. I think the maximum that I could have gotten on the glucose test was about a 130, and I placed at like a 60. And then they told me that I needed to start on these iron pills, which they called into my pharmacy. When I went to go pick it up, you guys, it was $70 for those iron pills. And I was like, excuse me, $70? Geez. And it was only a month's supply. And I asked the pharmacist, I was like, are these the same iron pills as something you can get over the counter? She's like, yeah, let me show you. So she showed me, and it was a 3-month supplies for $6.99. I was like, okay, girl, please give me the $6.99, okay? I'm not trying to spend $70 on some iron pills. Anyway, the pills are super tiny, and they are the death of me, okay? I didn't realize this, but it really messes up with my system. And I was taking the iron pills at nighttime with my prenatals and also my fish oils that I normally do, and worst mistake ever. The pharmacist did recommend that I take the iron pills with some food, but she didn't say anything about taking it in the daytime or at night. But let me just advise to you guys, my body is very sensitive to medication and things like that because I don't take Tylenol or Advil or even anything on a regular basis. So my body is very sensitive to medication. I don't know if these iron pills are just crazy, but when I was taking it at nighttime, I'm telling you guys, it was giving me such intense heartburn that the next day I would feel it. Some of the side effects of iron pills is that it can change your bowel movements. Yes, okay, I know, I'm sorry, TMI, but girl, I was like, what is going on with me? Why do I feel like I need to poop all the time? And my poop was weird, okay? I'm not gonna go into details about the poop, but if you wanna Google side effects of iron pills, okay, those are my symptoms. I changed up when I would take the iron pills. I would take it during the day, preferably in the afternoon after I have my lunch. That made such a huge difference in my body. The heartburn was not intense anymore. And then I think maybe something about the iron pills with my prenatals together made it just way too much for my body. So I broke it down. I started taking the iron pills in the afternoon, and then I take my prenatals at night. And that really, really helped with the heartburn, but not so much the bowel movements, okay? Hopefully I will only have to take that for the remainder of my pregnancy and not afterwards, because girl, those pills are not friendly to me. So far, I do not have any stretch marks on my belly. I'm crossing my fingers and praying that I don't get any of that. Stretch marks are mostly genetics, I feel like. My mom had 2 kids and she never had any stretch marks. I had both the boys and I didn't get any stretch marks. So I'm praying with this one I don't get any stretch marks. However, I feel like I am getting a little bit of stretch mark on my rib cage in the back. It could be from just super dry skin. That's another thing with my skin right now, and I've had this with both pregnancies. My skin gets so dry right around this time. I already have dry, scaly skin as it is, so I have to double moisturize all the time. But I feel like with pregnancy, your body changes and you're stretching and you have all these hormones and things like that, and it just really messes with your skin. So my body is super, super dry, and I have these marks on the back of my rib cage right here. I've been trying to treat it with double moisturizing, and then I'm using my stretch mark oil on there too. So hopefully it'll go away. I do remember a little bit from when I was pregnant with Jameson and maybe even Preston that I got the marks like right here on my belly, like around right here, but not right here on my rib cage. That went away with those pregnancies, so hopefully this will go away too, and it's just dry skin or whatever it is, and it's not something intense. But I'm gonna show you the stretch mark oil that I use. So this is the Mother's Special Blend oil that I use for anti-stretch mark. I've used this with both pregnancies. Does it work? I'm not sure. I don't have any stretch marks, but you know, I use this as a precautionary thing. Now I'm using it on my back also because of those marks on there, but hopefully this helps. They say that it's better to prevent stretch marks than to try to get rid of them once you get it. I am enjoying foods more, which I'm so happy about because, you know, I love food, you guys. And when I couldn't eat in that whole first trimester, it was brutal. I couldn't really enjoy food, and now I'm starting to enjoy it more and more. I'm okay with meats now, which is really good because my doctor was worried about me not getting my proteins in. So I am doing a lot better with meats. I just can't eat a lot at once. Whenever I eat, I have to kind of space it out. Otherwise, I get full super, super fast. And then when I have an actual meal, I get so stuffed like a turkey that I feel like I literally have to just lay down and relax. I'm so glad I'm enjoying food more, and I'm also enjoying coffee more. And I know a lot of people are against drinking caffeine while you're pregnant. It's my 3rd pregnancy. If I am enjoying coffee, let me live, okay? Cheers to that. This is a chai, by the way. And my doctor said I can have a cup to 2 cups a day. So it's fine. You know, speaking of which, my OB here, he just lets me do whatever I want. He's so easygoing compared to my last OB in Seattle. She was so careful about things. She measured my belly every single time I came in to see her, and he's more like, hey, what's going on? You have any questions for me? One time I told him, yeah, I just want to eat sushi all the time. He's like, yeah, go for it. I was like, okay. He's like, just chill out on the tuna because it's high in mercury, but for the most part, just go for it. Stick to a more well-known sushi place, of course, because you don't want to get the risk of getting sick. He's so easygoing that it gets me a little worried because I'm like, okay, how is he going to be in the delivery room? I am running out of breath. I don't know if you guys can hear my voice, but that's what's going on. Pregnancy is like a big bowling ball right here. It's just a lot of weight. And when you try to talk too much, you run out of breath. So that's another symptom. It is getting a little bit harder for me to sleep on my left side. I don't know if you guys know this, but when you're pregnant, you are supposed to sleep on your left side. It is the safest position for you to sleep on with baby, and I'll tell you guys why. Because your liver is on the right side of your abdomen, lying on your left side helps keep the uterus off the large organ. Sleeping on the left side also improves circulation to the heart and allows for the best blood flow to the fetus, uterus, and kidneys. I do notice that when I am laying on my back, which is my preferred sleeping position, it does get a little bit hard for me to breathe. And I feel like there's just so much weight on me. So it does get uncomfortable to sleep like that. And then when I sleep on my right side, the same thing kind of happens. My left side is the most comfortable position for me to sleep on as far as breathing. But when you're sleeping on your left side for 8 hours a night, it does get kind of uncomfortable and crampy, but I have been trying to train my body to sleep that way for a while now, just because it can be dangerous for you to sleep on your back or your right side the closer you get to your third trimester. So the fatigue is coming back. I am finding myself to be more tired quicker. If I'm doing something around the house, I have to take breaks and things like that. I just can't keep going because I've got this bowling ball situation going on and I can't just keep going like how I usually would. I am loving, obsessed with Oreos and milk. I have been literally eating that for the last week or so. After dinner, I save a little space in my stomach and I get a glass of milk and I dip my Oreo in it and I eat about 4 of those every night. Maybe 5, maybe 6. But it is just so good. The Oreos and milk, it's just everything to me. I'm also loving M&Ms, which is so funny to me because last night I was scrolling through my old videos when I was pregnant with JJ, and there was this video of me holding a bag of M&Ms talking about my cravings, and I totally forgot that I was craving M&Ms with JJ too. So I thought that was pretty funny. I'm just loving the peanut M&Ms, okay? Not regular M&Ms, the peanut ones. I am feeling baby kicking all the time now, which is so amazing, and I just love it. I have started feeling baby kick around 18 weeks, just little flutter kicks, but now I fully feel the kicks, and especially at nighttime around 10 p.m. my womb is lit, y'all. Baby is just up in there having a good time, kicking me for about an hour, and I love it because I feel like it's our time to bond and communicate, and it's just the best feeling in the world. The baby kicks are the best and I look forward to it every single night. I'm pretty sure baby is kicking all day throughout the day, but because I'm so active and doing a million things, I don't really feel it. So at nighttime is the best. And then I think I'm gonna have to start doing baby kicks soon. So they say about an hour of the day, you're supposed to count the baby kicks, and you're supposed to count about 10 kicks per hour. I have been irritated easily. My patience is very short. My best friend is pregnant at the same time with me, and I'm so happy that I have somebody to go through this with, because I cannot express to you guys the amount of irritation I get from people sometimes. I've been pretty good with distancing myself from going off on people, but sometimes I feel like they're just poking at a pregnant bear, and I'm just like, leave me alone, please, I beg of you. The irritation, it's not fun. And I'm so happy I have another prego to vent to, because only another pregnant woman would understand what you're going through. I am starting to wobble already. Nothing new. Like I said, you are carrying a huge bowling ball, and I'm just walking around like this, and I can't imagine 8 to 9 months I will be wobbling full on like a penguin. It is getting hard for me to get up and bend over. So anytime I drop something, luckily I've got the kids to help me pick it up, or I just question whether or not I really need it, because if I don't need it, I'm not bending over. It is very difficult for me to bend down, pick it up, and then I lose my breath. Another thing, my kids are obsessed with my stomach, and I think it's very cute and sweet. Every single time, it never fails. When I lift up my shirt and they see my bare belly, they're like, baby, and they hug my belly and kiss it, and they're just so obsessed with it, especially JJ. He's obsessed with my belly. If you guys have seen any of my vlogs, you know that he just loves touching my belly, and especially at nighttime when he sleeps, he goes under my shirt and he's like, baby, and he touches my belly. And I think it's because he's a breastfed baby. I breastfed him up until 9 months. He really finds comfort in the skin to skin. So I'm glad he touches my belly and not go for the boobs, because that's just not cute in public, you know, when he's going down my shirt. For the most part, it's very sweet and I love it.
Baby! Whoa. I love you, baby.
You love baby? I also wanted to touch on this topic with you guys. I got a lot of questions about traveling overseas, especially to places with Zika. If you guys follow me on Insta, you know that I went to Vietnam about 3 weeks ago, and a lot of people had questions about if I was worried with Zika and things like that. So I did clear it with my OB, and he's like, it's fine, you can go to Vietnam. The chances of you getting Zika is very low, and considering that we haven't really been hearing about it in the news, and it's not that it's gone away completely, it's just not happening as much as a couple years ago. The fact that I was only going to be in Vietnam for less than a week, he felt very comfortable with me being there, and he's like, yeah, go to Vietnam, have fun, just bring mosquito repellent and be cautious of what you wear. That was my last big trip, and it really got me exhausted, because when I came home, I was sick for a whole, I want to say 3 weeks. I think I came down with a fever, and I took 1 Tylenol, and I felt so guilty after I took that Tylenol, because I'm not big on medication. So I'm hoping with this 3rd pregnancy that I don't have to get induced. I did mention it to my doctor about, you know, what's going to be the birth plan. He said that because I am high risk now that, not that now, I'm 34 now, I will be 35 when I deliver. Because I am over 35, I am considered high risk. They suggest inductions for mothers that are high risk. I do not want to be induced, but of course, it's all dependent on the baby and how healthy the baby is and what's the best plan for the baby. But if I were to have it my way, I would want to go natural, have my water break, have that whole experience, no epidural, and I just want to do this the most natural way possible. That's my thing. It's always been my thing since my first pregnancy. I never got to experience it with Preston, with JJ. So hopefully with this one, my water will break and I'll have the baby naturally with no epidural. I know I'll really have to prepare myself mentally and physically for that, because childbirth is not a joke. But then, you know what? My mom went through it twice. If they can do it, I believe I can do it too. When we get closer to the due date, my doctor and I will discuss the birth plan and what I want. So I'll fill you guys in on that and give you guys an update once we know. That is basically it today for my update, you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm not sure when I'll be doing another update video. Probably when I have a lot of changes going on with my body, I'll do another update. I am coming to an end to my 2nd trimester, and it's been great so far. I'm so happy to take you guys on this journey with me. So without further ado, I'll show you guys my belly.